Marc Shapiro from the law office of Marc L. Shapiro.
Hey everybody, I'm Marc Shapiro, and I'm going to talk to you about the best thing I did for my law firm in 2018. So basically, I joined How to Manage in October 2017, and I went through the 12-week program, and then in January, I had a meeting, my first meeting with my CEO. So we had a meeting, and he said, let me talk to you about how you're doing your marketing. What are you doing for marketing? What's your unique value proposition? I didn't know what that was. He's like, what's your differentiator? How do you differentiate yourself? And I said, well, I know. I got a number 10 rating on Avo. Does that make me different? Everybody, does that make me different? No. How about top 1% of attorneys? Does that make me different? No. How about this award? How about that award? How about this one? How about top 100 attorneys? How about Law Firm 500? How about Best of Naples? How about 2 years in a row? Yeah, that's what he said too. So he said, that's what you care about. That's maybe what other attorneys think their clients care about, but that's not what clients care about. They want to know why you're different. Why should they come to you? Can you separate yourself from all the other law firms? He said, tell me about your hobbies. Tell me about your family. I said, oh, hobbies? I used to play drums in a band. Does that make me different? No. I have a beautiful wife. Does that make me different? No. Just don't tell her that. I have great kids. Does that make me different? I know it makes me different. My pets. I got a dog, a cat, and a rabbit. That's what makes me different, right? No, it didn't make me different. And so he said, we have to get to the bottom of this. We have to really find what makes you unique, what you can sell to your clients to differentiate you with all the other attorneys. Because if you're going to go forward with your awards, there's always going to be someone out there that has more awards than you do. If you're going to say, oh, I settled a case for this much money, there'll be someone out there that settled a case for more money. You don't want to compete on that basis. You want to compete on a basis that's unique to you. So let's find out about your family. Like, what makes you tick? What do you do when you're not at work? What do you do at night? What do you do on the weekends? And I'm like, well, that's kind of personal. I don't really want to get into that. I mean, we're supposed to talk about my business, not my personal life. And he kept pushing me, and he could see that I was starting to get a little annoyed and getting a little angry. And he said, seriously, tell me what happened. And I said, well, why don't we just stick with what's going on now? And he said, here's why. Because this was your profit in 2017. Now, I took a salary, but that profit wasn't success to me. That's not where I wanted to be. So he said, it's a matter of getting your law firm, out there and to get more profitable and to get to the revenues you want. So I said, okay, you really want to know what I do when I'm not at work? You really want to know what I do on the weekends and at night? This is what I do. Occupational therapy, behavior therapy, speech therapy, neurologists, gastrointestinal doctors, immunologists, geneticists, floor time, sensory integration, brain treatments, hyperbaric oxygen tapers. We give my son 10 different medications a day. We give him supplements. We have gluten-free diets, casein-free diets, soy-free diets, sleep studies. Oh, and this is how I spend my Saturdays. We give infusions of immunoglobulin that take about 6 hours every Saturday morning, and he screams and cries while I have to hold him while my wife sticks needles in him. And that's nothing compared to the monthly blood draws we have to get him. There we have to have like 4 or 5 nurses hold him down while he screams and kicks and carries on. We've done stem cell treatment, medical marijuana, even energy healers. From the mainstream to the alternative to the practically voodoo, we've tried everything, and I don't really remember insurance paying for much of this. Is that what you want to know? Do you want to know that we spend more than $100,000 a year on my son's treatment that health insurance doesn't pay for? That I've used my savings that I've mortgaged my house and I've dipped into my retirement account to pay for treatment, because how could I retire knowing that there was something out there that could have helped my son? Is that what you want to know? And do you want to know that when I was courting my wife and we started getting serious, I made a mental checklist in my head? Beautiful, check. Smart, funny, would make a good mother, never knowing that I should have added to that checklist, can live with little to no sleep for years, can have their heart and their will broken on a daily basis, and can throw all our money down a never-ending pit. That's what I do when I'm not at work. Is that what you want to hear? And his answer shocked me. He said, yes, that is what I want to hear. Because what do you think your clients are going through? What do you think in personal injury law when you have a seriously injured person? Aren't they looking for medical answers? Aren't they wondering if they're ever going to get better? Aren't they dealing with financial struggles of having to pay with bills or having to support their family when they're out of work? And don't they have to deal with potentially living a life that they didn't think they were going to live? You've experienced that. You know what they're going through. That is your differentiator. That's what you need to let your clients know. And I'm uncomfortable with that because I'm a very private person. But I figured, I have to do something. So I led, first of all, with my newsletter, and I had a newsletter. It said, "Making a Connection, What My Son Taught Me About the Law." And I talked to my clients in that newsletter, and I told them the struggles I have gone through and how I had a unique perspective on what they were going through because I've experienced it myself, and I wasn't going to let them down. I didn't quit on my son, and I would never quit on a client. And people started responding to that. They called me up and said, "Mark, I'm sorry to hear about your son, but I'm glad to know that you understand what we're going through." And even though I was uncomfortable with it, I went to speaking engagements and I told my story to everyone that I could tell it to. And I was able to be successful because I define success as being able to help more people and to help more people more deeply. And by that definition, 2018 was a great success. But I know some of you don't judge success that way, so let me tell you another way. In 2018, the law firm profit was $913,000. Now, don't clap because that's not the best part. By the way, that's after my salary, and that's profit, not revenues. The best part is that so far in January 2000, as of January 2011, we had revenues of $495,000, and I got a call on Thursday while I was at a workshop here that we settled another case for $200,000. But that's not the best part. The best part is our average case value went up significantly, not because I suddenly became a better attorney in the last year, although I will tell, but because I was signing up better, more quality clients that were resonating with my story. And I also had to live with integrity, so I could no longer hire the newbie lawyers because they were cheap. I now had to hire the best, because if I was going to walk the walk, I had to talk the talk. So I spent more money, and I hired a great attorney and great paralegals, and it showed. So this is my son. He likes country music. I don't know why, because me and my wife are more classic rock fans. But we asked him, it was his birthday, and we wanted to take him somewhere special because he goes through a lot. And we said, "Where would you like to go?" Now, he can't speak, but he has a typing device, and he typed on his typing device, Tennessee. We're like, Tennessee? Why? Nothing against Tennessee, but why Tennessee of all places? And he typed out Bobby. See, he liked Bobby Bones, the country music DJ, and we were able to make that happen for him in 2018. We went to Tennessee. He got to meet Bobby Bones. While he was there, Eric Church sang a personalized song to him and gave him a signed guitar. And that's my definition of success. Now, so I would urge all of you to think about what is your differentiator, what makes you unique and special. You don't want to compete with all the other law firms. You have something unique, which you have to sometimes dig deep to find, but once you find it, it will make all the difference in the world. Now, if you go to, by the way, don't worry about joining my newsletter. you're not going to join my newsletter. But if you go to 2019.attorneyshapiro.com and put your name and email address, and I promise I won't spam, I'll send you the marketing material that I've used this past year that has made all the difference for me by stopping promoting my accomplishments and instead promoting my differentiator. Thanks. So thank you all for listening, and I'd appreciate if you vote for me on the last bucket on the right. Thanks.
I love it. Walking the walk, talking the talk, marketing that sets you apart.
Yeah.
What takes your ego and does what with it?
Takes my ego and does what?
What's your marketing do with your ego?
Well,
For the people at home on the live stream.
What's it do with my ego? Well, it took my ego out of it. I mean, my ego was promoting myself and my accomplishments, which I found out that clients don't really care about. They want to know you, the person, and that's what they care about. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, thanks.